Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation on services marketing. I'm excited to have you here as we explore the fascinating world of services and how they differ from physical products. Today, we'll focus on defining what services are, understanding their key characteristics, and seeing how these aspects impact marketing strategies. So, in this session, we'll cover the basic definition of services, look into their unique traits like intangibility, variability, inseparability, and perishability. Let's dive in and get started. Let's talk about the key differences between goods and services, which are really central to understanding how to manage and market them effectively. First, many services are essentially perishable. That means they can't be stored for later use like physical goods can. For example, an empty hotel room or an unfilled appointment slot can't be saved for tomorrow. Another important point is that services cannot be transported easily. Unlike goods, you can't ship a haircut or a consultation across distances. This impacts how service firms operate and expand into new markets. Speaking of size, service firms tend to be smaller compared to manufacturing firms, which can influence their flexibility and resource allocation. Standardization is also a challenge in services. Maintaining consistent quality and service levels across different locations or times is difficult because of human involvement and variability. Many service organizations are labor-intensive, meaning their success heavily depends on the skills and performance of their staff. There are also legal and ethical barriers specific to certain services, which can restrict market entry or operation. For example, licensing requirements for healthcare or legal services can act as barriers. Demand prediction for services is trickier than for tangible goods because it's often more unpredictable. This makes planning and inventory management more complex. Additionally, service firms often face challenges when trying to enter foreign markets. Cultural differences, regulations, and market familiarity can all complicate international expansion. Applying portfolio theory, which helps manage a business's range of products or services, is often more difficult for service firms than for those dealing with tangible goods. This is because of the variability and intangibility of services. Finally, many service firms struggle to establish large market shares, partly due to these unique challenges. They often have to be more innovative and flexible to grow in competitive environments. Overall, understanding these differences helps us better grasp the strategic approaches needed for successful service management and marketing. Now, let's take a closer look at the different types of services. There are primarily two categories we should focus on. First, we have professional services. These are the services that typically serve the business market, but they can also cater to private individuals or both at the same time. Think of advisory roles like financial services, consultancies, legal assistance, and medical services. These are specialized, often requiring expert knowledge and skills. The second category is consumer-oriented services. These are more about everyday needs and are less specialized. They are focused directly on the end consumer and tend to be more accessible to the general public. Examples include catering services, cleaning services, and packers and movers. Understanding these distinctions is important because each type has different target audiences, delivery methods, and expectations. As we move forward in this presentation, keep in mind how these service types influence the overall service industry and business strategies. So let's talk about the nature of a service. Essentially, the more a product is intangible, the more it tends to be classified as a service rather than a tangible good. You see, most products are actually a mix of physical, tangible attributes and non-physical, intangible attributes. For example, a car has tangible parts like the engine and body, but it also offers intangible benefits like comfort and brand reputation. Services, on the other hand, have some distinct characteristics that set them apart. These include intangibility, meaning they can't be touched or seen in the same way as physical products. They also tend to be heterogeneous, which means they can vary depending on who provides them and when. Inseparability is another key feature. Services are often produced and consumed at the same time, so the customer is involved in the process. Lastly, perishability means that services can't be stored for later use. So if they aren't used when available, the opportunity is lost. Understanding these characteristics helps us better grasp how services function in the marketplace and how they differ from tangible goods. This is crucial as we explore how to market and deliver services effectively. Let's take a closer look at why service marketing is so essential. First, there's often a limited view of marketing itself. Many organizations see marketing just as advertising or sales, but in reality, it's much broader and more strategic. Next, we face limited competition in some cases, which might seem like a good thing, but it can actually lead to complacency. When competition is low, there's less pressure to innovate or improve, which can hinder growth over time. Another point is non-creative management. Sometimes, management approaches are very traditional or rigid, which can stifle creativity and adaptability, both of which are crucial in marketing services effectively. Then, there's the idea of no obsolescence. Unlike fashion or tech products that quickly go out of style, many services retain their relevance over time. This consistency can be an advantage if managed well, but it also means we need to focus on maintaining quality and relevance in our marketing efforts. Finally, there's a lack of innovation in how services are distributed. Traditional channels might still be used out of habit, but to stay competitive, we need to explore new and more effective ways to reach our customers. Overall, these points highlight why a focused approach to service marketing is vital, so we can overcome these limitations and truly connect with our audience in meaningful ways. Let's talk about some of the key service challenges that managers face. One major area is making effective capital decisions, allocating resources wisely to support service delivery. Technological advances are also a double-edged sword. They can improve efficiency, but require constant adaptation. Managing demand is crucial too. We need to balance peaks and off-peaks to ensure smooth operations and avoid overloading or underutilizing resources. Scheduling service delivery is another critical task, as it directly impacts customer satisfaction and operational flow. Marketing plays a big role in shaping customer expectations and attracting the right audience. Attention to physical surroundings is often overlooked, but can significantly influence the customer experience and perception of your service. Managing a rigid hierarchy, with the need for standard operating procedures, can be challenging. Finding the right balance between consistency and flexibility is key. Hearing and training are ongoing concerns. Getting the right people on board and developing their skills through methods of development and control is essential. Workforce scheduling, especially when starting up new units or managing growth, presents additional complexities. On the management side, controlling costs while maintaining quality is a constant struggle. These are often seen as opposing forces, but must be balanced carefully. Reacting to consumer interventions during processes requires agility and responsiveness. Managing the development of the people delivering services ensures continuous improvement and morale. Furthermore, managing a flatter hierarchy with looser subordinate-superior relationships can be tricky, but is often necessary for a more collaborative environment. Gaining employee loyalty is vital. Engaged, committed staff can make a huge difference in service quality and customer satisfaction. All these challenges are interconnected and ultimately tie back to providing excellent service while maintaining operational efficiency. Now let's look at how services can be classified based on the nature of the Service Act and who or what is the recipient. First, we have services directed at people's bodies, such as healthcare, passenger transportation, beauty salons, exercise clinics, restaurants, and even hair cutting. These are all services that directly target the physical aspect of individuals. Next, there are services aimed at goods and physical possessions. Think about freight transportation, equipment repair, laundry and dry cleaning, lawn care, and veterinary care. These services focus on tangible items, either helping maintain, repair, or transport physical objects. Then we have services that target the mind. These include education, broadcasting, information services, theaters, and museums. They're designed to stimulate or inform the mental or emotional aspects of people, rather than their physical bodies or possessions. Moving on, services can also be directed at intangible assets. Examples here are banking, legal services, accounting, securities, and insurance. These services involve managing or supporting intangible assets, things like financial resources, legal rights, or data. It's also useful to understand that services involve actions, either tangible actions, like repairs or transportation, or intangible actions, such as consulting or legal advice. Recognizing these classifications helps us better understand the diversity of services and how they relate to different needs and assets in the economy. Ahora en esta diapositiva, vamos a explorar la clasificación de servicios según el tipo de relación que tienen con sus clientes. Es importante entender que algunos servicios mantienen una relación formal y continua con sus usuarios, mientras que otros simplemente ofrecen una transacción puntual. Por ejemplo, en la categoría de relación con los clientes, encontramos servicios como seguros, suscriptions a canales de televisión, inscriptions en colegios, servicios bancarios, asociaciones comerciales, estaciones de radio, protección policial, faros, carreteras públicas, llamadas telefónicas de larga distancia, suscriptions a series de teatro, tickets o pases de transport, alquiler de autos, servicios de correo, autopistas de peage, teléfonos públicos. Cines, transport público y restaurants. Estos son ejemplos donde la relación puede variar, pero en general, hay una interacción que se mantiene durante un periodo de tiempo. Por otro lado, algunos servicios se caracterizan por una relación de tipo más casual o sin un compromiso formal, como el envío de una llamada telefónica, un paseo en transport público, o la compra de una entrada para el cine. Estos son ejemplos de transacciones discretas, donde la interacción es puntual y generalmente de corta duración. También existe otra categoría que son los servicios de entrega continua, en los que la prestación se mantiene de manera constante, como en el caso de la electricidad o el suministro de agua, por ejemplo. Por último, los servicios que dependen de transacciones discretas, como alquilar un coche o comprar un boleto, que son de carácter puntual y sin compromiso a largo plazo. En resumen, esta clasificación nos ayuda a entender cómo interactuamos con diferentes tipos de servicios y qué expectativas tenemos en cada uno. Esto es clave para diseñar estrategias de atención y gestión que responden a la naturaleza de cada relación. Let's take a closer look at the classification of services based on the scope for customization and judgment in service delivery. On this chart, we see that some services fall into the high quadrant, meaning they involve both high levels of customization and a significant amount of judgment. For example, professional services like legal advice or consulting, as well as surgeries, are highly customized and require expert judgment. Moving to the high-low quadrant, we find services like gourmet restaurants or education tutorials. These services are quite customizable, but may not require as much ongoing judgment once the service is set. In the low-high area, we have services like taxi services or plumbing. These tend to be more standardized, but still involve a fair amount of judgment in executing the service properly. Finally, in the low quadrant, we see services such as retail banking or movie theaters. These are typically more routine and standardized, with minimal customization or judgment needed. Understanding where a service falls on this spectrum helps us tailor our approach to delivering value and managing customer expectations effectively. It's a crucial framework for designing service strategies that align with both customer needs and operational capabilities. Let's take a closer look at the classification of services based on the nature of demand and supply. This slide highlights how different services can vary in terms of demand patterns and capacity. On one end of the spectrum, we have services with a wide demand and supply. These services can handle fluctuations quite well, such as electricity, natural gas, telephone services, and hospital maternity units. For these, peak demand can often be met without major delays, even during busy times. Moving along, we see services with a narrower demand and supply base. These tend to experience peak demand that regularly exceeds their capacity. For example, police and fire services, insurance, and legal services often face situations where demand surpasses what they can handle promptly. The table on the slide lists various examples, from essential utilities like electricity and natural gas to hospitality and entertainment like hotels, restaurants, and theaters. Notice that some services, like passenger transportation or dry cleaning, also fall into this category of narrower capacity. The key point here is that services with narrow demand and supply tend to face more frequent capacity challenges, especially during peak times, which can lead to delays or the need for capacity expansion. Understanding these classifications helps us grasp how different services manage fluctuations in demand and plan for capacity accordingly, which is crucial for maintaining quality and customer satisfaction in the service industry. Let's take a closer look at the classification of services based on how they are delivered. We can think of this in terms of the method of service delivery, which generally falls into two categories: single site and multiple site. In the case of single site services, the customer typically goes directly to the service organization. Think of a visit to a theater or a barber shop. The customer is physically present at the service location to receive the service. The service organization itself is centralized at one site. On the other hand, for multiple site services, the service organization comes to the customer. This is common in services like lawn care, pest control, or taxi services, where the service provider visits the customer at their location. Then there's the hybrid scenario, where the customer and service organization transact at arm's length. This includes services like mail delivery, credit card companies, or emergency repairs, where the interaction is less personal or direct, often over a distance or through intermediaries. Some examples to keep in mind: a fast food chain or a bus service are typically single site because the customer visits the outlet or station. Conversely, a local TV station or a broadcast network deliver their services across multiple sites, often through broadcasting, reaching viewers in different locations. Understanding these distinctions helps us see how service delivery methods influence customer experience and operational strategies. It's an essential part of designing effective service systems that meet customer needs efficiently and effectively. Let's explore the reasons behind the significant growth of the service sector. One of the main factors is technological advancements, which have revolutionized how services are delivered and expanded. These innovations make services more accessible and efficient, fueling their growth. Another key reason is rising consumer demand. As people's lifestyles become more sophisticated and preferences shift, the demand for various services like healthcare, education, and entertainment increases. Globalization and international trade also play a crucial role. They open up new markets and opportunities for service providers to expand their reach beyond borders, contributing to sector growth. Structural transformation within the economy is another important aspect. As economies develop, there's a natural shift from agriculture and manufacturing toward services, reflecting changes in consumer needs and economic priorities. Government policies and initiatives further support this growth by creating a conducive environment for service industries to thrive through reforms, incentives, and infrastructure development. All of these factors collectively lead to increased labor productivity within the service sector, which means services are being delivered more efficiently. This, in turn, results in employment generation, creating more jobs and boosting economic development overall. So, in essence, technological progress, changing consumer preferences, globalization, structural shifts, and supportive policies all drive the vibrant growth we see in the service sector today. Let's dive into the marketing strategy for the service sector. First, understanding the customer is absolutely crucial. This involves conducting thorough market research to gather insights about customer needs and preferences. Listening to customer feedback helps us refine our offerings and improve satisfaction. Additionally, analyzing competitors allows us to identify our unique strengths and opportunities. Creating detailed buyer personas, or character profiles, helps us tailor our marketing messages effectively. Moving on, building trust and delivering value are fundamental. Customers need to believe in what we offer and feel confident in choosing us. Utilizing digital marketing is also vital in today's world. It enables us to reach a wider audience and engage with customers in real time. Next, we should consider the 7P of service marketing: product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical evidence. Each element plays a key role in shaping the customer experience. Building a strong brand is essential for recognition and loyalty, so investing in brand development pays off over time. There are also some key considerations specific to service marketing. For example, one critical concept is perishability, the fact that services cannot be stored or inventoried. This means we need to manage demand carefully and ensure capacity matches customer needs to avoid lost opportunities. Overall, integrating these strategies helps us create a comprehensive approach to marketing in the service sector, ensuring we meet customer expectations and stand out in a competitive landscape. Now, let's talk about external marketing in the service sector and how it plays a crucial role in building a successful business. First, setting expectations is key. We want our customers to have a clear understanding of what we offer and what they can anticipate, which helps build trust and loyalty from the start. Next, branding and reputation are vital. A strong brand creates recognition and emotional connection, while maintaining a good reputation encourages repeat business and positive word of mouth. Customer acquisition is the ultimate goal of these efforts, attracting new clients through targeted marketing strategies. And to stand out in a crowded market, differentiation is essential. We need to highlight what makes our service unique and valuable compared to competitors. Now, to achieve these objectives, we utilize various tools and tactics. Digital marketing allows us to reach audiences online through social media, search engines, and email campaigns. Traditional marketing, like print ads and direct mail, still has its place in certain markets. Event marketing offers opportunities for face-to-face engagement and brand exposure. Personal selling involves direct interaction, where salespeople can tailor their pitch to individual needs. Lastly, public relations help shape public perception and foster positive media coverage. All these elements work together to create a comprehensive external marketing strategy that not only attracts new customers, but also sustains our brand's reputation and growth in the service sector. Now, let's talk about internal marketing within the service sector. This approach focuses heavily on employees because they are the frontline of any service business. When we treat employees as customers, we create a positive environment that encourages them to become brand ambassadors. This not only improves service delivery, but also enhances the overall customer experience, which is crucial for building loyalty. By investing in our employees, we see increased retention rates, which saves costs and maintains service consistency. Strong internal communication helps reinforce our brand values consistently across the team. Recognizing and rewarding employees through programs and team-building activities fosters motivation and a sense of belonging. Additionally, leveraging internal social media platforms for communication keeps everyone informed and engaged. Regular surveys and feedback sessions are vital. They show employees their opinions matter and help us continually improve. All these strategies work together to create a motivated, aligned team that naturally promotes positive word of mouth and strengthens our brand from the inside out. Now, let's take a closer look at how interactive marketing functions within the service sector, specifically focusing on customer-employee interactions. One of the key elements here is personalization. When we tailor experiences to individual customers, it creates a more meaningful and engaging interaction. For example, a hotel receptionist might use real-time engagement to address guests by name, offer personalized recommendations, or adjust services based on their preferences. This kind of immediate, responsive interaction makes customers feel valued and understood. Another crucial aspect is leveraging data-driven insights. By analyzing customer preferences and behavior data, companies can better anticipate needs and deliver customized solutions. This isn't just about collecting data, but actively using it to enhance the customer experience in the moment and build stronger relationships. All of these points tie back to the overall theme of how technology and data are transforming service interactions, making them more personal, dynamic, and effective. This approach ultimately boosts customer satisfaction and loyalty, which is the goal of interactive marketing in the service sector. Let's now move on to Unit II, which focuses on the service marketing mix. First, let's talk about product. In the context of services, the product is essentially the service package we offer to customers. It includes everything the customer receives, from the core service to any supplementary features or benefits. Next is price. Price plays a crucial role in the success of marketing a service. It's not just about covering costs, but also about strategically positioning your service in the market. For larger service firms, setting prices above the market rate is common. They use higher prices as a way to ration or control the supply of their offerings, signaling quality or exclusivity. Flexible pricing is also quite prevalent in service marketing. It allows firms to adapt their prices based on various factors, such as demand, customer segments, or competition. When quoting prices, some firms mainly aim to meet or beat the competition. Others rely on standard cost tables, and some even negotiate directly with customers. The ultimate goal of pricing in the service industry is to attract new business and increase sales volume. To achieve this, many service firms use differential pricing strategies. This means they adjust prices to shift demand from peak periods to non-peak times, helping to optimize capacity and revenue. While fixing prices, service firms should consider a few key points. First, they need to set clear annual profit and sales volume targets. Next, they should aim for a definite profit margin for each job or service offered. Understanding their own cost structure is vital, so they can price accurately and sustainably. It's also important for firms to review and update their pricing schedules regularly. This ensures their prices stay competitive and aligned with market conditions. Additionally, aiming for higher average prices rather than lower ones can improve profitability. And finally, striving for greater pricing flexibility gives a firm the agility to respond to market changes and customer needs effectively. In essence, pricing is not just a number. It's a strategic tool that, if used wisely, can significantly impact the success of your service offerings. Let's talk about the service marketing mix, focusing on promotion. It's really crucial to understand that when promoting a service, we need to define the product based on what the customer wants, not just what the marketer makes or sells. This shift in perspective ensures we're meeting actual customer needs and expectations. To do this successfully, personalization is key. Personalizing the service, often through a tangible person, like a customer service representative or a specialist, serves as a direct communication channel. It helps build trust and makes the service feel more relatable and accessible to the customer. Now, it's important to note that traditional sales promotions, such as samples or demos, are generally not applicable in the service sector. Unlike physical products, services are intangible, so these promotion methods don't work as effectively. Instead, our focus should be on creating personalized experiences and meaningful communication that resonate with our customers. This approach ties into the overall theme of delivering value through tailored, customer-centric strategies. Let's talk about the service marketing mix, starting with place. In the service sector, the channels of distribution tend to be quite short and direct. This means there are usually no intermediaries involved, which helps in delivering the service more efficiently. However, it's also useful to think of any extra corporate entities that stand between the producer of the service and the prospective users as facilitators. These entities are used to make the service more accessible and convenient for customers. Now, moving on to people. In any service organization, there are two key levels of personnel that play a crucial role. First, we have the contact personnel. These are the individuals customers interact with directly, like waiters or receptionists. They are the face of the service, and customers judge the quality of the service based on their experience with these frontline staff. The second level is support personnel. These folks might not be seen by customers directly, but they are vital for the smooth operation of the service. They ensure everything runs seamlessly behind the scenes and help keep customers satisfied. Examples include representatives, technical support staff, or administrative support teams. Both levels of personnel are essential in creating a positive service experience and reinforcing the overall quality of the service. Connecting this to our broader theme, it's clear that delivering excellent service isn't just about the core offering, but also about how it's delivered and supported through the right channels and people. Now, let's talk about the service marketing mix, starting with the process. This is all about how the service is actually delivered to the customer. For example, when you use an ATM, a debit card, or a credit card, these are the touchpoints through which the service reaches you. It's crucial because the way the service is delivered can greatly impact customer satisfaction and perception. Next, we have physical evidence. Think of this as the tangible clues the company provides to help you evaluate the service. It plays a significant role because, in many cases, what you see or experience physically influences your overall impression. Physical evidence can be divided into two categories. The first is peripheral evidence, which is usually part of the actual purchase process, like a checkbook or a receipt. These are things you typically possess as part of the service transaction. The second category is essential evidence. This has a much more profound impact on your decision to buy or use the service. For instance, an airline ticket isn't just a piece of paper. It's a vital element that influences your perception of the airline and can even affect your choice to fly with them. So, in summary, both the process and physical evidence are key components in delivering and shaping the customer experience in service marketing. They work together to ensure the service is not only functional, but also perceived as valuable and trustworthy. Let's talk about the concept of a service product. According to the AMA, it's essentially the activities, benefits, or satisfactions offered for sale or provided in connection with selling a product. Now, when we think about the conceptualization of a service concept, there are some important steps to consider. First, we focus on the customer benefit concept. This means that customers aren't just buying goods or services, they're really after specific benefits and values that those services provide. This benefit can be broken down into three key elements. The first is physical items, which are tangible aspects that the customer can see or touch. Next, we have sensual benefits which appeal to the senses, like taste or smell. Lastly, psychological benefits, which influence how customers feel, such as confidence, happiness, or peace of mind. Understanding these elements helps us better grasp what customers truly seek when they purchase a service. It ties back to the overall theme of aligning our offerings with customer needs and expectations. Now, let's look at the concept of the service product. When we talk about developing a service concept, we're essentially defining the core benefits that the service provider will offer. This is a fundamental step because it sets the foundation for everything that follows. There are 4 key attributes within the service concept. First is the core service or benefit level. Think of this as the basic service or the main benefit that the customer is actually buying. It's what provides value at the most fundamental level. Next is the expected service level. This is about meeting the standards that customers anticipate. It's what they expect to be satisfied and comfortable with. Think of it as the baseline of quality and consistency. Then we have the augmented level. This is where differentiation comes in. It includes additional features or benefits that set the company apart from competitors, things like extra convenience, faster service, or personalized options that add value beyond the basics. Finally, there's the potential level, which focuses on the future. It involves innovations and improvements that can enhance the service over time, helping the company stay ahead and adapt to changing customer needs. Understanding these attributes helps us create a comprehensive service concept that not only meets current expectations, but also offers room for growth and differentiation. Now, let's move on to the next steps in the conceptualization of our service concept. First, we have the service offer and service package. The service offer is essentially what we are communicating about our service, what exactly we provide, how we deliver it, and to whom. It's about setting clear expectations for our customers. The service package, on the other hand, is more about the product dimension of the service itself. It includes all the decisions related to the core concepts of the service, such as the range of services we offer and the quality and levels of service that customers can expect. Understanding these elements helps us ensure that our service is well-defined and aligned with customer needs. Next, we have the service delivery system. This relates to the actual process of how the service is delivered, what steps are involved, what resources are needed, and how we ensure a consistent, high-quality experience for the customer. Together, these components form the backbone of creating a successful service. They're interconnected and essential for delivering value and meeting customer expectations effectively. Managing your service offering is a crucial part of maintaining a competitive edge. When it comes to developing new services, there are several key situations to watch for. For example, when your current service reaches the maturity or saturation stage, it's time to consider innovation. This allows you to keep growth steady and avoid stagnation. Additionally, developing new services can help utilize any spare capacity you might have, turning idle resources into revenue-generating opportunities. Another important reason is to meet unmet needs of your customers, identifying gaps in the market and creating solutions to fill them. Plus, to retain your existing customers, you might need to introduce new services that add value and keep them engaged. Now, when we talk about types of new services, there are a few main categories. First, style change refers to updating the look or feel without changing the core service. Service improvements involve making existing services better or more efficient. Service line extension means adding new variations or features within the same category. Of course, launching entirely new services is another route. These are innovations that can open new markets for your business. And finally, major innovations are breakthrough changes that significantly alter your service offerings and can set you apart from competitors. All of these strategies play a vital role in keeping your service portfolio dynamic and aligned with market needs. And ultimately, they help you sustain growth and customer satisfaction over time. Now, let's take a closer look at managing the service offering through the stages of new service development. First, we start with idea generation. This is where we gather ideas from both internal sources, like employees and existing processes, and external sources, such as customers, competitors, or market trends. It's all about being open to new possibilities. Next, we move to idea screening. Here, we evaluate those ideas to see if they align with our company's mission and whether we have the resources to support them. It's crucial to filter out ideas that might not fit strategically or are not feasible at this stage. Once we've identified promising ideas, we develop the service concept. This involves clearly describing what the service will be, how it will work, and what value it offers to customers. It's about turning a vague idea into a concrete concept that we can communicate and build upon. After that, we conduct a business analysis. This step tests the idea for profitability and feasibility, checking if it can generate enough revenue and if we have the capabilities to deliver it effectively. Following a successful analysis, we proceed to service development. Here, the business proposal transforms into an actual service, with detailed plans, specifications, and processes in place to deliver the service reliably. The next stage is market testing. We test the service in real-world conditions, focusing on marketing mix variables like product, price, place, and promotion, to see how the target market responds and to make necessary adjustments. Then, we move to launch or commercialization. This is when we officially introduce the service to the market, making it available for customers and starting full-scale operations. Finally, after the service has been introduced, we gather post-introduction feedback. This is essential for understanding customer satisfaction, identifying areas for improvement, and ensuring the service continues to meet market needs effectively. Throughout this process, each stage builds upon the previous one, ensuring a thorough, strategic approach to developing and managing a successful service offering. Now, let's take a closer look at managing the service offering through its life cycle. The service life cycle concept is a helpful way to understand how a service evolves over time. It typically starts with the introduction phase, where we launch the service and begin to attract customers. During this stage, awareness is key, and we often see slower growth as we build our market presence. Next comes the growth phase, where the service gains acceptance, customer demand increases, and revenues start to rise more rapidly. It's an exciting time because the service is gaining traction, and we often focus on scaling and optimizing operations. As the service matures, it enters the maturity stage. Here, growth stabilizes, market saturation occurs, and competition may intensify. Our goal shifts toward maintaining market share, improving efficiency, and differentiating our offering to stay relevant. Finally, the service reaches the decline phase, where demand decreases, possibly due to new technologies or changing customer preferences. Recognizing this stage is crucial so we can decide whether to rejuvenate the service, phase it out, or innovate new offerings. Understanding these stages helps us manage our service offerings strategically throughout their entire life cycle, ensuring we maximize value at each point and adapt to market changes effectively. Let's talk about branding in services. A brand is more than just a name or a logo. It's a combination of a name, a term, a symbol, or a design that helps identify the goods and services of a seller or a group of sellers. Its main goal is to differentiate these offerings from competitors, making it easier for customers to recognize and choose them. Now, what are the advantages of branding services? First, it helps to tangibilize the intangible. Services are often invisible or hard to grasp, so branding gives them a concrete identity. It also supports your positioning strategy by reinforcing how you want to be perceived in the market. A strong brand becomes a powerful tool for building relationships with customers, creating trust and loyalty over time. It helps to craft an image of quality and consistency, which reassures customers that they can expect the same high standards every time. Branding also reduces price comparisons because a well-established brand can command a premium, and customers are often willing to pay more for trusted names. Plus, it keeps current customers satisfied by developing and maintaining unique service advantages that set you apart. And don't forget, branding encourages repeat usage, especially when combined with sales promotions, by reminding customers of your value and keeping your service top of mind. So, overall, effective branding is essential in services because it creates a clear identity, builds trust, and fosters long-term customer relationships, all of which are crucial for sustaining competitive advantage. Let's talk about pricing in services. Pricing, at its core, is really an art. It's about translating the value of a product or a service into measurable, quantitative terms that customers can understand. It's a way of putting a price on what we offer, but it's more than just numbers. It reflects the perceived value in the eyes of the customer. Now, what role does pricing play? Well, first, it directly affects the standard of living of the people. When prices are set right, they can make products or services accessible, improving overall quality of life. On the flip side, pricing also acts as a powerful competitive tool. It can differentiate us from competitors and help us capture market share. Additionally, pricing is crucial for achieving our financial objectives. Setting the right prices ensures we can cover costs, generate profits, and sustain growth. And finally, it serves as a mechanism to monitor how we're using our capital. By analyzing pricing strategies, we can see if resources are being allocated efficiently, ensuring our investments align with our long-term goals. So, in the bigger picture, effective pricing isn't just about making sales. It's about balancing value, competition, profitability, and strategic resource management. Let's walk through the steps involved in making effective pricing decisions. First, it's essential to analyze the organizational objectives. Understanding what the company aims to achieve helps shape our pricing strategy to support those goals. Next, we need to analyze the costs incurred in delivering the service or product. This ensures that our prices cover costs and contribute to profitability. Then, we look at demand levels and customer characteristics. Knowing how much customers are willing to pay and their preferences allows us to set prices that maximize both sales and revenue. It's also important to examine competitor pricing. This helps us position ourselves effectively in the market and avoid being under or overpriced. We should also consider the regularity measures related to pricing, such as seasonal fluctuations or demand patterns, which can influence our pricing approach throughout the year. Once we've gathered all this information, we set the price based on the chosen method, whether it's cost-based, value-based, or competitive-based. After establishing the price, we implement the strategy, making sure it aligns with current market conditions. And finally, it's crucial to monitor how the market responds to our pricing. Tracking customer reactions and sales trends helps us identify any problems early on, so we can make adjustments as needed. All these steps are interconnected and play a vital role in ensuring our pricing strategy is effective and aligned with our overall business objectives. Now, let's take a closer look at the objectives of pricing. First, one of the fundamental goals is survival. In a competitive market, setting the right price is crucial for a company's ability to stay afloat and continue operating. Next, we have maximizing profits. This is often a primary objective, where the focus is on setting prices that generate the highest possible return, ensuring sustainability and growth. Another key objective is maximizing market share. By strategically pricing our products or services, we can attract more customers and increase our footprint in the market, which can lead to long-term benefits. Service quality leadership is also an important goal. Sometimes, pricing strategies are designed to position a brand as a leader in quality, which can justify premium pricing and attract a specific customer segment. Finally, stimulating patronage is vital, especially in industries like hospitality or retail. Competitive pricing can encourage more customers to visit and make purchases, boosting overall sales and loyalty. All these objectives tie back to the overall theme of pricing, finding the right balance to support our business goals while meeting customer needs. Let's talk about the place in service, which is essentially where the interaction between the service provider and the customers takes place. This is a crucial element because, unlike physical products, services are often experienced directly in the location where they are delivered. The activity of distribution in services tends to be more strategic, since the distributors are actually performing the service act itself. Now, when we consider the location of the service premises, several factors come into play. First, the *** nature of the service * is key. Whether it's a healthcare facility, a hotel, or a retail outlet, each requires a different approach to location. Then, the *** nature of interaction * matters. Some services demand face-to-face contact, while others might be more self-service. Next, we look at the *** nature of customer demand ***. Are customers visiting regularly, or is it an occasional visit? This influences where you should locate your service. Competitive positioning is also critical. Being close to competitors or in a strategic location can impact your market share. Natural geographical location is especially relevant for services like holiday resorts, where scenic beauty or proximity to attractions can be a major selling point. Technological advancements also influence location choices. For example, with telehealth, healthcare providers might not need to be physically close to patients anymore. Additionally, the ** dependency on other services and the availability of * infrastructural facilities **, such as transportation, internet, and utilities are vital considerations. All of these factors help shape your *** target market decisions, ensuring your location aligns with the needs and preferences of your intended customers. In summary, choosing the right place in service isn't just about physical proximity. It's about strategically aligning all these factors to maximize customer satisfaction and competitive advantage, which ultimately ties back to the overall success of your service offering. Now, when we're considering the premises for a service organization, it's important to look at several key factors. First, the nature of the service organization itself. What kind of services does it provide, and what are its core functions? This helps us understand the foundation upon which everything else is built. Next, we should think about future needs. What might the organization require down the line? Anticipating future demands allows us to plan proactively rather than reactively, ensuring sustainability and growth. Aesthetic factors also play a significant role. The appearance and design of the organization's environment can influence customer perceptions and experiences. A welcoming, professional appearance fosters trust and comfort. Finally, we have to consider the social environment. This includes the community, cultural norms, and social dynamics that surround the organization. Understanding these elements helps us tailor our services to better meet the needs and expectations of the people we serve. Connecting all these points, it's clear that a thorough analysis of premises, covering these aspects, can significantly enhance the effectiveness and success of a service organization. Let's talk about designing a distribution system. First, customer segmentation is crucial. We often look at demographic factors, which include age, gender, income, and education level. Then, psychographic segmentation helps us understand customers' lifestyles, values, and personalities. Purchase behavior is also key, as it reveals buying patterns and frequency. All these factors help us tailor our distribution channels effectively. Next, we need to consider how service characteristics influence channel design. Some services have highly variable outcomes, meaning the quality or experience can differ greatly depending on how and where they're delivered. Others are highly specialized and complex, requiring specific expertise or equipment. Plus, sometimes the profit margins on services are quite thin, which limits how many intermediaries we can support without sacrificing profitability. Finally, when identifying and evaluating major channel options, we look at different criteria. Economic criteria help us assess cost efficiency and profitability. Control criteria focus on maintaining the desired level of service quality and brand consistency. And adaptive criteria remind us to choose flexible channels that can evolve with market changes. All these considerations are interconnected and vital for creating a distribution system that aligns with our overall business strategy. Let's take a closer look at the factors that influence direct distribution. First, company resources play a crucial role. Depending on what your company has available, whether it's capital, personnel, or technology, you'll find certain distribution methods more feasible than others. Next, the type of service you're offering matters a lot. For example, some services require a high level of personalized interaction, which might lean toward direct distribution. Geographic location is also key. If you're serving a local or regional market, direct distribution can be more manageable and effective. But for broader markets, it might get complicated and costly. Customer preference is another important factor. Some customers prefer direct contact with the company, while others might favor third-party channels. Finally, the level of technical skill needed to deliver your service influences your distribution choice. If your service requires a high degree of technical expertise, direct distribution allows for better control and training. Overall, these factors are interconnected and shape the best approach to reaching your customers effectively. Now, let's take a look at indirect distribution channels. These involve middlemen or intermediaries like agents, brokers, and franchising. Agents and brokers act as connectors, helping to bring the product from the producer to the market. Franchising, on the other hand, is a bit different. It's about licensing the business model to others. Speaking of franchising, it offers several key benefits. For the franchisor, It allows for wider distribution without the need to manage every location directly. It also helps maintain consistency and quality across different outlets, which is crucial for brand reputation. Additionally, franchising provides valuable insights into local markets, as franchisees understand their communities well. It also spreads out risks and increases motivation, since franchisees have a vested interest in success. For the franchisee, this model offers the advantage of obtaining an established business. They're not starting from scratch, which significantly reduces the risk involved in launching a new venture. Plus, franchising typically includes training programs that prepare franchisees with the necessary skills and knowledge to operate effectively. Overall, indirect distribution through franchising can be a powerful strategy for expanding reach, sharing risks, and leveraging local expertise, all of which fit into the bigger picture of strategic growth and market penetration.